there, folks. I'm Charlotte, the Gulf Coast Granny, and today I'm super excited because I'm about to do the last 2 granny squares for this blanket that I'm trying to make. It's a granny square blanket that I've been working on for about 2 weeks, and you know, when you get to the end, it's pretty exciting. Now, make no mistake about it. I'm not delusional enough to think that this is the end because they've all got to be sewn together. But it is the end of the first phase, put it that way. But all I have to do is put 1 row around this and make another square with this yarn, and the first phase will be finished. I hope everybody's having a great morning. I had some wonderful sleep last night. That is not a normal thing for me. I have insomnia, and it's very rare that I sleep for more than 3 hours at a time. Usually once at night and once in the afternoon. But last night, I wasn't feeling great because my back was kind of hurting. So I took some medicine for that. Well, it was around 9 o'clock when I fell asleep after taking that medicine. And I woke back up at 1:30 in the morning. And normally, when I wake up at 1:30 in the morning, I just get up because trying to talk myself into going back to sleep is a chore. But last night, I said, you know what? Maybe I could just roll over and go back to sleep. So I did. I had sat up, so I laid back down, and I rolled over, and I was listening to some boring thing on YouTube. I don't even know what it was. And I went to sleep. I woke up at 4:30 this morning feeling better than I have in so long. I mean, I was full of energy, and I got some laundry done, and I got some dishes done. And y'all, nobody hates housekeeping as much as I do, I don't think. But I did. I got up, and I was raring to go. I got the coffee made before Murphy, my son, even got out of bed. I got his breakfast done. I made him some French toast this morning. And he was very grateful because I haven't done that in a long time. He's 16 now. And he's getting so big that he pretty much does his own thing in the morning. And even though I like to be awake before he leaves, if for no other reason than to make sure he gets on that bus. But still, I like to be awake. And this morning I decided to treat him to a homemade breakfast. Makes me feel like he still needs me once in a while, you know? So I got him off to school. And then my daughter, who's in college, she got up to go to her classes today. And now I'm here in this house all by myself, and y'all, it is glorious. Seems like lately that doesn't happen very often either. You know, on my live stream last week, I talked about how no house is big enough for 2 women, and how me and my daughter are kind of struggling a little bit with where her place is and where my place is. And we had to have a come to Jesus meeting the other day, and I had to remind her that my place is here. And that this is my place. And she understood, and we talked about growing pains and how, you know, her growing up is a process for her, sometimes a painful process, but it is for me too. And that we're probably going to come to little bumps in the road every now and then, and we're going to have to be able to talk to each other and come to some kind of understanding. So we agreed to do that. And I'll tell you this, I feel so grateful that me and my daughter's relationship is such that we can talk to each other. We don't argue with each other. There's no shouting matches. I made that boundary very early on in her life. You know, when they turn about, I don't know, 9, 10, 11 years old, little girls tend to get kind of mouthy. and they want to talk back, and they want to argue, and they want to make sure that their opinion and their voice is heard. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that. But it has to be done respectfully. So what I would do when she would start getting a little bit mouthy and trying to argue, I would just look at her and say, "Oh, are we arguing right now? Is that what we're doing?" And she'd kind of look at the floor and she'd say, "No, ma'am." And she still kind of does that, because once in a great while, I'll have to ask her, are we arguing right now? So, but I am so grateful that she has a good head on her shoulders and that we both understand the rules of engagement. I wish sometimes that me and Poppy were so agreeable with each other. Poppy drives me absolutely out of my tree. And I had to learn the hard way, because I have a really quick temper and a very sharp tongue. And I had to learn a long time ago that if he makes me crazy, I just need to walk outside or take a walk down the street or whatever to get away from the situation so I can think clearly and then discuss. All right, there is number 98. Yay! This is number 99. I wish that I could sit here and show y'all that I'm crocheting in front of me, but my table's not deep enough to get a full view. So I'm just going to have to sit here and talk a little while I crochet, and then show you the results at the end. Now, this is the first video that I have published in quite a long time. And it is my goal from this point forward to be a little more consistent with YouTube. And I'm changing the format of my channel some. Before now, it was mostly about food. I cooked. I had practical tips for the kitchen and making dinners on a budget and that kind of thing. And I still do that, even though I'm not filming it. And I also did a lot of gardening before, and I'm still going to be doing that. But I'm also going to add my crocheting maybe once a week. I do a live stream on Mondays, live crocheting. I also do some other crafts. Right now, the main other craft that I do is diamond painting, and I really enjoy that. It is one of the most relaxing hobbies that I've come across in a very long time, because there's not a lot to it. It's kind of like crochet. It's almost a mindless activity. And the way I'm so scatterbrained, maybe scatterbrained isn't the right word. I think of a billion things in a minute. And my mind is always just flitting around to different subjects and different things I want to do and different problems that I'm trying to solve. And crochet and diamond painting now, they make my brain be quiet. And I need that sometimes. In fact, once a day, I sit down and I crochet in peace and quiet to get my brain to be quiet. And that's what I call my rest. Y'all, I would rather work like a mule outside than have my brain and my thoughts going nuts all the time. So I give it a break with crochet and with diamond painting. What do you do to have your brain be quiet every day? Or is it just once a week? Let me know down in the comments. And since we're talking about YouTube-y things, please like, subscribe, share the channel out with your friends. I'm trying to grow my channel again, and I would really appreciate new viewers and new subscribers. I guess I could hold my crocheting up like this. What do you think? It might get a little uncomfortable after a while, but when it does, I'll set it down. How's that? I'm real excited about gardening this year because me and my husband, Poppy, are rebuilding and doing like a garden makeover. And the reason is unfortunate. I did a video last fall about how the termites ate my garden beds. Well, we are in the process of tearing all of them down, moving dirt, and as soon as that's completed this weekend, we're going to put a fence up around the area where we want the garden. And then I have bought 6 garden beds made out of metal. And that's what I'll be using from now on in my garden. Now, I'm not going to be able to start off with very many. Just those 6. But maybe every payday or every other payday, I can order one more garden bed and do it just a little bit at a time until it's as nice as it once was. I am going to make sure that we have more trellises and vertical growing space in this garden because I really don't have a lot of space. So that will help. Putting things growing vertically will help a lot. Now, of course, I can't promise that I'm going to actually pull some food out of that garden because it seems like every year, no matter what I plant, the critters want to eat it, or blight gets to it, or mold, or fungus, or bacterial wilt. I mean, you name it. And I'm mainly talking about tomatoes here, but all that stuff affects every other plant too. Your peppers, your cucumbers, anything you grow. It's either bugs or disease down here in the south. I am in Zone 9 in South Mississippi. So I have a very, very long growing season. My favorite time of year to grow things is in the fall. Those are my favorite foods too, are the fall vegetables, the root vegetables, the mustard greens. Anybody who knows me knows I love some mustard greens. I don't know if I have time to plant some more or not. This early in the season, I don't know if they would bolt, but I would like to have one more chance at it before fall rolls around. I will be doing some tomatoes, of course, but I'm thinking about this year only doing cherry tomatoes because cherry tomatoes are not as susceptible to the heat and the diseases as your normal beefsteak types. Even salad tomatoes. If it's on an indeterminate bush, you can forget it. It's going to have blight by the end of June. Another thing that's going to be happening is Poppy is going to be fixing the fence that's right out that window there. Look. See? And once he does, I'll be able to get my tricycle, Hazel, out on the road. And it is almost springtime, and I'm just about busting at the britches to get out on the road and go tool around my little town. I enjoy that a whole lot, and I haven't been able to do it for a while since the fence broke. Poppy had to screw the fence together to keep the dogs from trying to get in and out. Because, you know, we've got to protect them. And there's 2 of them. I know some of you have met my dog, Virgil. He is a Labradoodle and German Shepherd mix. He looks like neither. He's a big, black, beautiful dog. And he has a gray face. A little bit of gray on his hands and feet. But he's gorgeous. And he's still very puppy. He was a year old in December, but he's definitely not a grown-up puppy yet. The other one is Dinah. She's the dog that will never die. She's a Chihuahua, and we've had her for over 12 years. And we got her from the shelter, and the vet told us back then that she was about 6 years old. So if the vet was correct, that dog is working on 20. You know? We'll see what happens. Well, she might outlive me. I'm also going to make some videos about the chickens. I've had a lot of folks request videos about the chickens, so I'm going to do that. I don't know what kind of videos y'all want, but I can show them. You know, Poppy built me a really nice coop for these chickens. It's 11 feet wide by 19 feet long, so it's big. And it's a combination coop / chicken run. One of the reasons we did it that way is because we can't let our chickens out in the yard. The reason for that is the fence back there is only 4 feet tall, so they can fly over it, and they will. I don't need to go chasing my chickens all over my neighbor's yards. So we decided to build a coop that would keep them contained, but still give them plenty of room to scratch for bugs and, you know, do the chicken things while also being safe from predators and being safe from getting out of the yard and not coming back. We do have we have chicken wire across the top of it to keep the hawks and the owls from swooping in and getting them. So they're very safe. Now, not long ago, you aren't going to believe this, as secure as that thing is, because we got hardware cloth all the way around it, so no critters can stick their little hands through the chicken wire, you know, and grab their heads. You know how, well, I don't know if you've ever had chickens before, but that is a risk. Raccoons are good at that. But we had a possum in there, and we were sitting here at the table, and Poppy heard the chickens going berserk before I did, and he hopped up and he ran outside, and come to find out there was a possum in there trying to eat my chickens. So he had dug underneath the chicken coop. So he had to go out there, and we've put wire down into the ground and kind of flared out this way so that if a possum does get up next to the coop again and try to dig, they're just going to hit wire. But Poppy saved the chickens that night. But it did explain why 3 other chickens ended up going missing within the few weeks before that. One of my favorites. That's okay. I can always get more chickens, right? I hated it. And with the price of eggs nowadays, maybe it's a great thing I do have chickens. I just paid, because my chickens are on strike right now, I just paid over $9 for 18 eggs. Dozen and a half. And that's ridiculous. So as soon as they start laying again, when the days get just a little bit longer, I'll have eggs out the wazoo. And I won't have to be spending I buy 18 eggs about every 2 weeks. So that's, that's $20 a month on eggs. Close. Well, I spend about $16 a month on chicken food. And, you know, when push comes to shove, you don't really need chicken food. All you need is a bunch of bugs in your yard and some scraps to throw to them. I won't do that unless I get desperate. But it is an option. Y'all, this is so exciting. Look, I'm halfway done already. Because there's 6 rows in each square, and I'm on my 4th row. This is the swan song, y'all. This is the last row of 99 squares. And this means that the bulk of this project is finished as soon as I make this last round. The only thing left to do is sew it all together, put a border on it, and it'll be usable. And I can't wait to use it. This blanket might just encourage me to buy a new comforter for my bed. I haven't bought a new comforter in probably 10 years. You know what I'd like to put on my bed is maybe a quilt. And then put this at the bottom of the bed over the quilt, all folded up neatly. I think that would look nice. What do you think? Sure would remind me of my grandma's old bed back in her house years ago. I used to spend many weekends in her bed. I'd go spend the night with her. She only had a 2-bedroom house. And my great-granny lived in one of the bedrooms. And my meemaw lived in the other bedroom. Only when I would come to spend the night, she would give me her big bed, and she'd go sleep on the couch. Can you believe that? She was a heck of a lady. I miss her still. She's been gone a long time. But I think of her almost every day. And it's always little things like this that remind me of her. Okay, look at here, y'all. Last 3 stitches. Well, 5 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a slip stitch to finish her off. There it is. Well, there she is, y'all. Those are all of the different colors. And I could not be happier with the way it looks. Now, what I might do is change one color. Like, see how there's 2 purples down on this end? I don't want that. I don't want similar colors together. So it is going to be 9 squares wide and 11 squares long. So I'm going to have a lot of options on how to place the squares, because, you know, this is only a 3 by 5 and a little bit of rows, but I wanted you to get the full picture of how it's going to look. So now that that's done, I guess I'll just start putting them together, and I'll be doing a live stream on Monday night. Hopefully it'll be done by then. That is what? Today's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's not going to be finished by Monday night. But I might be putting the border on it Monday night. We'll see. Tell me down below if you think I'll have it ready for the border by Monday or not. So, y'all, I'm real excited to restart this channel. Let me get some tea. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is just expanding the content into other things and other areas. Because before, I felt like I had run out of things to say. But now, I have a lot more to say. But until then, y'all take care, and I'll see you again real soon. All right?